champion, dominant champion, submitting everybody, underdog. That's how good Islam is.
Style favors Makhachev probably because of the the styles.
Real fight. Before you start to think that this is just going to be one-way traffic, I'm telling you, this is going to be a lot tougher.
Before you dismiss Ian, and I don't think that you guys do that, I'm just predicting for you from a phenomenon that it's like a storm coming to town. Your belief in the potential of Ian is going to grow as this fight gets here. That I'm already starting to feel.
And this was the guy that I really wanted, and I believe he wins.
Wednesday, August.
We're also backing that fact.
Because if, or more accurately, when he gets the victory in August, there will be no denying his status as a true superstar.
He does well with Islam on the stand-up because he's rangy, he's tricky. All those, but on the ground, he doesn't. He does okay, but he doesn't survive on the ground, I don't think. I mean, well, okay, he might survive 5 rounds, but he won't get the best of Islam on the ground. That I'm 100% sure about.
UFC 3D30 in Philadelphia has arrived, and the MMA world is buzzing. Islam Makhachev is set to face Ian Machado Garry, and for the first time in years, there is almost universal uncertainty over who will leave the cage with their undefeated run still alive.
Sort of elite grappling strength that comes from decades of throwing human bodies around.
Yeah.
There's a thing about that. Like here, Demetrius Johnson says, I felt it, I know. Fucking Max Holloway just texted me, how strong is that Darce? Like that's a sick Darce. Islam is elite.
Yeah.
He's elite when it comes to like strangling people.
August 15th, Philadelphia. The stage is officially set.
Defends his welterweight throne for the first time.
The clock is running down, and one more victory could put him on the verge of history. Anderson Silva's legendary winning streak is the benchmark. And that is exactly the kind of legacy that is at stake here.
And I'm telling you right now, this fight for Islam Makhachev may be a lot harder than what people think. Given all of the accolades that Islam Makhachev has, it's easy to just dismiss Ian Garry and say, listen, he's got to just run right through.
The ground game tells a very different story, and there is no reason to dress it up. So, what exactly did he have to say about the matchup? Dritin fa or tainthort say.
Now, of course, the career of Islam is ridiculous. When you look at the last few fights that he had, the people on his resume, it's insane. Jack Della Maddalena, Renato Moicano, granted on a day's notice, and he made it look easy, got it done in just 4 minutes. Before that, Dustin Poirier submitted him. Alexander Volkanovski 2 times in a row. Charles Oliveira, Bobby Green, Dan Hooker, Thiago Moises. When Thiago Moises was the real deal, when he was a contender, when he was coming up and he was very, very hungry. So as I say, he's on a run. The record of Islam Makhachev is 28 wins and 1 loss with 18 stoppages. And of course, if he can get a hold of Ian Garry and take him down, yeah, it's probably going to be easy. Ian will struggle to get back to his feet, and I don't think he can match Islam in terms of jiu-jitsu or submission grappling.
A few days later, Michael Bisping returned to the discussion with another interesting angle. This time, he focused heavily on Garry's conditioning, his jab, and the strategy of constantly moving around the enormous octagon.
Probably the best pound-for-pound fighter in all of the sport that's active right now. But Ian Garry does have a unique challenge. He's 6'3", he's very long, he's quick, he's a good striker, and he's not afraid to spoil the fight. He's happy to jab and jog, he's happy to pick him apart, he's happy to win on points, right? He's happy to just keep banging that jab and moving away. 1-2, move away. Little team kick, move away. Just keep dancing around that gigantic octagon. And it is a gigantic octagon. Let me tell you, when you first walk into one of those UFC octagons, you will be surprised at how big it is. There is a lot of space to operate. That's what people talk about at the Apex, because the venue's smaller, the cage is smaller, and it favors wrestlers because they can get hold of them easier and take them down, right? It is a big space, and Ian Garry is going to stick and move all day long. So Khabib Nurmagomedov, he's got some reservations about the fight, but of course he doesn't underestimate anyone. That's why Khabib was also one of the greatest ever as well. That's the mindset you got to have. You go into every single fight thinking, this is the one. It's going to be really tough. You leave no stone unturned and you get ready. But here's the reality of it. If Islam Makhachev gets a hold of him, he's going to take him down real.
It sounds simple on paper. Chael Sonnen then took that discussion in another direction. referencing a superstar matchup that completely changed the course of the sport.
Ian Garry is a stand-up fighter from Ireland who idolizes Conor McGregor. So now we know everything we need to know about Ian Garry. He's a sharpshooter. He's going to use his hands. He's going to use his kicks. He can't do any jiu-jitsu. But then somewhere along the way, he started training with Damian Maia. And it was an interesting coincidence because he ended up on bottom against MVP with his back taken, but was never in trouble. So then we're going to go, okay, great. You had problems grappling with this guy, MVP, who's not a grappler. You got real big problems now because you're going to fight Rachmanov, who's going to expose everything that you don't know. And it turned out that punching and kicking Irish kid had spent some time in the wrestling room, right? I mean, he just looked better than we knew that he was.
Then Garry spoke again, and that confidence immediately caught Sonnen's attention. Sonnen couldn't simply ignore the level of belief coming from the challenger's side.
Here's the problem with Ian. He's better than he thinks he is. You watch Ian, you think he's just brash, confident, Irish man. To an extent. But he's got the right. Ian Garry, if he's not the best in the world, and that's what we're going to find out. If he's not the best in the world, he's top 3. He's better than he thinks he is. And he also does his best work when the house is on fire. Ian comes out and looks his absolute best when people think that he can't. But I do believe that Ian is going to convince the world of what I already know. He can win this fight.
While Sonnen was breaking down the possibilities, Makhachev's coaching team was already hard at work. Inside the gym, they were carefully studying Garry's tendencies, looking for every opening, every reaction, and every moment of hesitation they could exploit.
Is there ways that this fight could play out that would then lead us to believe that Islam's the GOAT? Maybe. If Islam was to go out there and dominate, think of what he did with Money Moicano. It pains me, but I've even got to say Dan Hooker, he caught him in a position, he caught him early, but all the same, if he was to go out and just tie up Ian Garry and make Ian Garry surrender quickly, yeah, boy, that means something.
Santisi. Ali Abdelaziz remains extremely confident in Makhachev's approach. He is not merely predicting a strong performance. He expects Islam to constantly move forward, force Garry backward, secure takedowns, and aggressively search for the finish. But there is another important part to this prediction.
He does well with Islam on the stand-up because he's rangy, he's tricky, all those. But on the ground, he doesn't. He does okay, but he doesn't survive on the ground, I don't think. I mean, well, okay, he might survive 5 rounds, but he won't get the best of Islam on the ground. That I'm 100% sure about that. On the stand-up, he's pretty tricky. So one punch can change everything on that. One kick, one punch, one knee, so that's a different story. But on the ground, I don't see him dominating. I see him surviving, possibly. So yeah, I could see that. And then the takedown defense that he has is decent, but not great enough to stop Islam from taking him down. But again, sometimes we'll go in there and we'll decide that we're going to do this with Islam. And next thing you know, next round we'll say, okay, take him down now. Or next thing you know, next round we'll go stand up because he's that good. So we're not looking at going in any specific game plan for anybody because he's good everywhere. He's good everywhere. So, I've said it too many times, and I think people should remember some of my back interviews. And if they look at that, then they go, we're not going to prepare for Ian Garry per se. We'll just prepare for an MMA fight. And Islam is good everywhere, so he'll practice everything.
The biggest concern is what happens once the fight reaches the mat. Abdelaziz believes the difference could become even more obvious when Islam begins applying his relentless wrestling and grappling pressure.
But Islam can make it really easy work for him. But I'm telling you something, Islam is working so hard, I never see him working as hard, and he got a lot better than last time I saw him. And he's very motivated, very motivated. And I think he's fighting a guy who runs a lot. Islam have to punch him in the chest, take him down, pass his guard, mount him, and finish him. That's what's gonna happen. But he's gonna run. He's not an easy opponent, a puzzle to figure out. But I just think, I don't know, man. These guys say a lot of crazy shit. He'd say he's gonna bounce his head on the wall. He's gonna finish him after 4 rounds. This dude talking about finishing people. This guy lost 11 fights. He have 9 decisions. Islam lost 11 fights, have 8 finishes.
Meanwhile, Jack Della Maddalena focused on another major development, Islam Makhachev's striking. He highlighted how much cleaner the champion's technique has become and pointed out the wide range of weapons Islam now possesses on the feet. Chiu Hao Nine.
He don't care. But I'm gonna tell you something. This little skinny Irish kid with a small 30 waist, 30 size waist, he's gonna get grabbed up and smashed by Islam Makhachev. One thing I can promise you is gonna happen.
Not everyone is willing to overlook Ian Garry. Brendan Schaub, in particular, gives the challenger plenty of credit. He considers Garry one of the UFC's most gifted fighters, especially from a technical standpoint, and believes his unusual style could create serious problems for anyone across the cage.
100%. He's more all round, like definitely the striking for sure. Like he's
better striking than Khabib, I think. More cleaner striking than Khabib.
Yeah, more weapons, more cleaner. Not as rushing as Khabib, you know. So yeah, he's definitely improved. Like you look at his first fight compared to where he's at now, it's a lot better. And you got to think when he's stepping up to welterweight.
But the discussion does not end there. Combat sports analyst Luke Thomas strongly disagrees with the idea that Garry should be dismissed heading into this matchup. In his view, the challenger deserves far more respect than he is receiving.
When he fights, is one of the most talented dudes in the UFC. I've been glazing him for how many years, Chin? Ian Garry is so talented inside that octagon. Nightmare of a matchup for guys, not a finisher. Stylistically, a nightmare for everyone, including Islam Makhachev. This is a fact. It's not gonna be an easy fight. That being said,
even though Thomas is leaning toward Makhachev, he still acknowledges the enormous danger on the other side. He believes Garry could potentially be standing on the edge of one of the biggest upsets the sport has ever witnessed.
It's goofy. You know, how much he means it literally, I don't know. But like, who gives a fuck? Like, that doesn't... But you're threatened by this? Like, who is genuinely threatened by a comment like that? You know what I mean? Like, somebody who is... I mean, you gotta have profound fucking issues to be offended by something like that. Again, is it... he's not spitting. He's not like, oh, he's fucking... No, he's not spitting. But he's like... It's not... It's junk food for commentary, right? It's nothing. And then to get so fucking mad about Ian Garry being like, yeah, factory farming is real bad. Fuck this. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys have heard that phrase, like, your boos mean nothing because I've heard what you...
Even people within the UFC could not hide their excitement once the matchup became official. Ariel Helwani then brought in someone who has followed Garry's development closely from the very beginning.
And everyone wants to go ape shit. Dude, I like Islam, and I think Islam's gonna win. And I think he's a credit to the sport. Like, he's obviously pound for pound #1 for a reason. Like, he's an incredible talent. I would not like to see him lose. I would like to see him win. I mean, you know, let the best man win, but I'd be totally cool with Islam going out there and just making more history. I'm cool with that. But I will say, if there's a consolation prize that's available, Ian Garry winning is the amount of fucking heads that would explode of the very worst people in the sport would be delicious to watch. I would take great pleasure in that.
Even the UFC...
Exactly. And the underdog argument receives even more support from Craig Jones. He believes Garry possesses enough technical ability to genuinely challenge Islam, and he would not be shocked if the challenger makes this a much more competitive fight than expected.
Usually one a year for Islam. Like, you think he's fighting August 15th and coming back by the end of the year? I mean, I guess if it's a really quick fight, but...
It's not going to be a quick fight, I don't think.
It's not going to be. Do you fancy his chances, PT?
I think he has a chance, absolutely. I think... Look, Islam's the best fighter in the world. It's a huge task. He'll test Ian in a way that we thought Bilal would, and he didn't. Yeah, so I'm interested to see how it plays out. But I think Ian can have a lot of success if he sticks to his long range on the outside. Absolutely. Like, you know, we've seen him do this time and time again. It's just a different beast across the cage from. Understandably, Islam is the favorite, but absolutely wouldn't rule Ian Garry out, especially after, you know what I mean, the week we've just had. Poatan and Ilya Topuria. I mean, how could you rule the dude out at this stage? I mean, I think he has the goodest chance of any of the guys in that welterweight ranks. It's just that Islam is just so good.
Belal Muhammad sees the matchup from a completely different perspective. In his opinion, if his opponent can secure an early takedown, the entire dynamic of the fight could change immediately. And honestly, there is logic behind that argument because Islam's submission and control game is on another level.
You know, I actually do think he has a very good chance at beating Islam. I remember watching, so what Islam does really, obviously does a bunch of things incredibly well. Like I slander him at any chance I get, but truly appreciate every ounce of technique he does. And one of his most beautiful takedowns is a single leg where a guy digs an underhook and he turns it into a clubbing takedown. And now Shovkat tried that exact move on Ian Garry, and Ian Garry countered it and ended up on Shovkat's back. So I think an open space takedown, Islam's go-to. Ian Garry does have a very good answer.
But there is another side to the debate. Several analysts believe Garry's biggest priority should be avoiding Islam's constant forward pressure and staying away from extended grappling exchanges at all costs.
Yeah, he's doing some interviews this week. He's saying, like, the worst thing that can happen to me is Islam lays on me for 25 minutes. There's no threat in my mind for a submission or a striking-related finish. Is that simplifying it too much, or do you think Ian's onto something there?
If that's the case, then it's the worst thing that could happen for Islam is Ian just runs the whole time. So it's like, regardless. But if he gets taken down, it's not going to be the same situation as when Shavkat took him down. Ian did a good job of just like holding him, right? He's not going to be able to hold him like in his guard. The guy got like Islam. I think Islam is more of a threat on the ground than Shavkat was. Like if he thinks, oh, if he takes me down, I'm just going to hold my guard, body triangle him, and then just wait for the ref to stand us up. That's not going to be the case.
Still, not everyone is writing Garry off. Respected analyst Oscar Willis believes Garry's unusually long frame could create problems Islam has not experienced against many of his previous opponents. Tafridit
wraps his arms around you, you are going for a friggin' ride, and you're probably not getting up. So, yeah, man, we'll see what happens. Can Garry stay on his feet? Can he run fast enough? Like, not even run. Can he move well enough so Islam can't get a hold of him? Because I don't care how much taller and how much of a reach advantage he has. Like, Islam is a hoss. He is stronger than Ian Machado Garry is. I can assure you of that. So, yeah, I think Islam wins somewhat easily, but it's been a weird year. Who the hell?
Yeah. Then MMA Guru entered the conversation, and that's when things became even more heated. The discussion shifted away from pure technical analysis as people began bringing their personal opinions about Garry into the debate. And trust me, some of those opinions were far from positive.
So I'm not ruling him out. Like, dude, especially this year, I'm not ruling out anything. I'm not ruling out anybody beating anybody in any fights. After what we just saw at the White House, after what we just saw Justin Gaethje do to Ilya Topuria, nothing is off limits. Nothing is impossible anymore. And the way this year is going, Ian Machado Garry might just head kick Islam Makhachev into a knockout in the first round and win the welterweight title. Like, everything is possible here. So I think he's got a better chance than people are giving him, but I'm still going to pick Islam pretty confidently.
Here's where things get even crazier. MMA Guru completely changed his prediction after watching just one more piece of content from Garry. His position swung in the opposite direction, and the change was anything but subtle.
The awkwardness that I think Islam's going to struggle against. I think the frame of Ian, even for a welterweight, it's a very big guy. I think Ian's going to cause Islam problems. I've decided. I think Ian's going to be a real challenge. And I think there's a world where you get to round 4 and you go, fuck, has Ian won every round? Does Islam need to finish? I think because Ian's so good at lulling the opponent into his pace and like his speed, and he can dictate so much from how rangy he is. There's a world where you're like, damn, I don't know if you could get, those rounds are so close. Did Ian get those rounds? It's in Philadelphia, blah, blah, blah. I think there's a world where that happens, I think it's a weird way to put it. I don't know if he's going to be like dangerous, or difficult with Islam. I just think it's going to be really tricky. Yeah.
But wait a second. Henry Cejudo has another theory entirely. He believes Islam Makhachev could be facing a uniquely difficult opponent because of Garry's physical size, powerful jab, exceptional distance management, and dangerous kicking game.
Garry, dude, I think he's going to be too elusive on the feet. I don't think Makhachev's going to be able to kick at range against him and do that effectively. And I think it's big danger for Makhachev on the feet, man. At range? Listen, against JDM, JDM's the same size as Makhachev. Maybe a slight bit taller than him, but they're about the same frame, same size. Makhachev went to the legs of JDM, you know, knowing that he was going to have that stance. And we've seen that, you know, JDM's low kick defense isn't what it's all cracked up to be. So that was kind of like a, you know, in hindsight now we know when it comes to Makhachev against JDM. And he had been taken down by Gilbert Burns, but he had a broken arm, but, you know, all good. We don't see Ian Garry spending too much time on bottom position, and if he does, he survives and he makes the adjustments the next round. 5 rounds. Is Makhachev going to get this one done? I think finishing potential's on the side of Ian Garry. I think he's going to be the more dangerous fighter out there, dude. His range control, if you can make Prates whiff on the feet and not really get anything effective off until round 5. Oh, and by the way, he took that fight on a week and a half.
Satusi fans, Hunter also refuses to dismiss Garry's wrestling and grappling ability. His argument is that Garry has already shown he can compete with high-level wrestlers, making this matchup much more competitive than the surface-level predictions suggest.
You know what Makhachev's subbing him into? Straight up, dude. Honestly, Makhachev's strangling this worm in 2 rounds. I sense it, chat. I just got a feeling about this one.
This fight could end in history or heartbreak. Everything is on the line. Will Islam Makhachev strengthen his legacy by extending one of the greatest winning runs in MMA history? Or can Ian Machado Garry shock the world and bring that streak crashing down? Let us know your prediction in the comments. Who do you think wins? And if you've made it this far, you clearly enjoy these fight breakdowns. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another major debate in the world of combat sports.